Good evening. The time is now 6:30. It's Monday, November the 10th, 2025, and I now call the Winton Woods City Schools Board of Education meeting to order. If you all would please stand with me and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Agenda item 1.03, Mr. Seymour, could you please call the roll?
Ms. Bryant,
Present.
Ms. Knighton,
Here.
Ms. Miller, Mr. Spielman,
Present.
Mr. Smith.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is 2.01, District Honors, Recognitions, Gifts, and Introductions. Superintendent Denny, you have the floor.
Thanks very much, Ms. Knighton, and good evening, board. Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. It's a pretty unusual weather. It's a little too early for all this right now.
Yeah, right?
I'm not sure what nonsense is going on, but it's supposed to be 70 by Saturday, so I guess we'll shake it off and get ready for proper winter later. So we have the distinct pleasure this evening of recognizing some of our great students doing great things. So I'd like to begin this evening with the first District Honors Recognitions, Gifts, and Introductions section. We're going to begin with the November 2025 Horace Mann Fine Arts Student of the Month Award. And this award is given to students who meet the following criteria. To be nominated for this award, students must maintain a GPA of 3.0 or higher in the previous quarter. They have to show respect for directors, fellow students, ensemble members, contest adjudicators, teachers, and family. Show enthusiasm and a positive attitude. Display commitment to rehearsals, concerts, and personal skill development. Demonstrate honesty and integrity. And finally, have high moral character. We're excited this month to recognize a student who is in 9th grade. So she's a Winton Woods High School freshman with a 4.0 GPA. Please help me recognize and celebrate 9th grade band student, Jada DeWalt. Come on up, Jada. While you're coming up, please invite whomever you brought with you this evening to join you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Riley. You're way ahead of me, sir. And I'll go ahead and read this really complimentary, wonderful nomination essay by your assistant band director, Miss Emily Kahn. She writes, I have had the pleasure of teaching Jada for these past 2 years. Jada started with me in the beginning band as an 8th grader and is now shining as a high school band student. Jada has an incredible work ethic and a lot of natural leadership skills. Jada started trumpet in 8th grade as a beginner, and I could tell right away that she was going to become an extremely talented leader of our group one day. As we start her first year in high school band, I'm thrilled to see that she has a strong work ethic which has continued, and she's already leading all of her peers in class. Her passion, dedication, and enthusiasm to grow as a musician are all very admirable. She always comes to class with a positive attitude and finds fun in even the mundane of tasks. In marching band, she showcased exceptional leadership by encouraging others to perform to the best of their ability, ensuring that she always looks and sounds the best that she can, and going above and beyond to help anyone else around her out. Anytime a volunteer is needed, she's among the first to volunteer. She's helped me numerous times, teaching new beginning students, helping to organize our music library. That's a job, isn't it? And many, many more. She's always asking what else she can do to help out. In addition to being a valued member of our ensemble, Jada is involved in many ways in the school community. One highlight is she is a valued member of the school's girls wrestling team. She manages to do all of this while maintaining, as we mentioned, a 4.0 GPA. We love having Jada in our ensemble and cannot wait to see how she continues to grow throughout her high school career. Congratulations, Jada. The next award this evening is the Kiwanis Character is Key Fairness Award. And to help present this, I'd love to invite Mr. Dave Bell, Green Hills Forest Park Kiwanis member, forward. Good evening, Mr. Bell.
Good evening.
So just a little bit about this award. Students are selected for the Kiwanis Characters Key Fairness Award based on the following description. Fairness means taking turns in sharing, never taking advantage of others, being open-minded and listening to another's opinion, and also playing by the rules. The Kiwanis Characters Key Fairness Award is sponsored by the Green Hills Forest Park Kiwanis Club, a business partner of Winton City Schools, and the student so recognized will receive a La Rosa's gift card as a part of this award. Very excited this evening to recognize and celebrate the Kiwanis Characters Key Award for Fairness, fourth grade student from Winton Woods Elementary School, Jazeera Hill. And Jazeera and Miss Ranford, your assistant principal, wrote these really nice things about you that I'd love to share. It says, for the Character Award in Fairness, we, the principals and teachers of our nominee, sought someone who sees the best in everyone, understands gentle honesty and strong kindness, and brings light and joy to every space they enter. We quickly recognized that all of these qualities reside in Jazeera Hill, a fourth grade student in Mr. Meyer and Miss Sneed's classroom at the South Campus. Jazeera exudes positivity through her warm and generous spirit. Her smile is absolutely contagious, and meeting her even once makes that abundantly clear. It is heartwarming to know her as a person and to witness the way she embraces her peers regardless of any and all differences. For these reasons and others, it is with great pride and without reservation that we nominate Jazeera Hill for Characters Key Fairness Award. Congrats, Jazeera. And thank you, Ms. Ranford. Next award on the list this evening is the November 2025 Kiwanis Student of the Month Award. Just a little bit about this particular award. The Kiwanis Student of the Month Award is sponsored by Green Hills Forest Park Kiwanis Club, a business partner of Winton City Schools, and the student recognized in this way will also receive a La Rosa's gift card as a part of the recognition. So it's pretty excited to announce this is another ninth grade student. Our freshmen are showing up and showing out a little bit tonight. That's always great to see. But November 2025 Kiwanis Student of the Month Award goes to ninth grade student Liana Matthews. This nomination was written by Miss Christina Stark, Liana's teacher. Liana Matthews, a ninth grade student new to Winton Woods this year, stands out in her class, not just for her excellent grades, but for the positive attitude she brings to every room. Liana always has a sincere smile. She consistently asks insightful questions whenever she needs clarification, but also patiently helps other students to grasp more difficult concepts. Liana sets a positive example, encouraging others to make good choices, demonstrating a quiet leadership that is well respected by her peers. She just completed the first quarter and earned, wait for it folks, 3.7 GPA. Her science teacher says Liana is a highly motivated student that takes pride in her work. In the classroom, she is focused and dedicated, making sure that her work comes at the highest possible standard. Coupled with a great attitude, Liana truly shows what it means to be a Winton Woods warrior. In history, her teacher had this to say: Liana is a great student in world history. She is one of the top performers in the class, always has a smile on her face, and asks great questions. She also has a wonderful soul. Even though she is new to Winton Woods this year, she has adjusted to the switch and is absolutely thriving. Outside of school, Liana enjoys spending quality time with her family, and she's recently chosen to be rebaptized, showing her dedication and personal growth and commitment to her faith. Liana is an outstanding young lady who demonstrates the warrior way. She is truly deserving to be November's Kiwanis Student of the Month. Congratulations, Liana. Good stuff. All right, folks, moving along to the next award is the November 2025 Skyline Student Athlete of the Month. Just a bit about this award. To be nominated for the Skyline Student Athlete of the Month, students must maintain an academic standard of 3.0 GPA or higher, show respect for coaches, teammates, officials, teachers, and other students, as well as family, show enthusiasm and a positive attitude, display commitment to practice, games, and personal skill development, demonstrate honesty and playing by the rules, and finally, demonstrate high moral character. The Skyline Student Athlete of the Month Award is sponsored by the Forest Park Skyline Chili Restaurant, a longtime business partner of Winton City Schools, and student athletes who are honored receive a Skyline gift certificate. Excited this month to announce November 2025, Skyline Student Athlete of the Month, a senior 12th grade student right here at Winton High School and member of the cheer squad with a 4.31 weighted cumulative GPA, ranked number 11 out of a class of 310, Trinity Johnson. Trinity not able to join us this evening? Okay. We're going to catch up with her in December, but I would love to read this nonetheless because it's a wonderful tribute. This nomination is from cheer coach Miss Plummer. Trinity Johnson is serving her second year as varsity cheer captain and continues to set the standard for leadership on the team. She's an exceptional student, taking all of her classes through Cincinnati State, and she balances her academic excellence with a commitment to the cheer squad. Trinity leads with a positive attitude, consistently motivating her teammates and pushing them to be their absolute best. She is dedicated to the success of the team and is a true role model both on and off the sidelines. So congrats, Trinity. Look forward to catching up with her in December. And the final award of the evening is the November 2025 Skyline Teacher of the Month Award. Just a bit about this award and the criteria. To be nominated for this, a teacher must exhibit the following: excellence in the classroom by using instructional practices that support higher academic achievement. Motivation by encouraging and motivating students to surpass their expectations, both academically and socially. Leadership by having a positive attitude with students, parents, colleagues, and the community. Creativity and imagination by demonstrating these traits in teaching in a way that inspires students to learn. Dedication by showing excellent attendance, punctuality, and overall dependability. And finally, communication by communicating effectively to their classrooms, parents, colleagues, and the community. The Skyline Teacher of the Month Award is sponsored by the Forest Park Skyline Chili Restaurant, a business partner of Winton City Schools, and teachers who are so honored receive a Skyline Chili gift certificate. This particular person, also nominated by Principal Michelle Plummer, is from Winton Woods Primary School. Congratulations to November 2025 Skyline Teacher of the Month, Miss Mia Macklin. Miss Macklin, I'll share what Principal Plummer wrote about you. Miss Macklin cares deeply for her students and is dedicated to helping them reach their highest potential. She works closely with students with disabilities, providing the support and encouragement they need to thrive. Known for her positive attitude with parents, students, and colleagues alike, Miss Macklin is always willing to lend a helping hand. Her dedication to the Winton Woods School District is evident through her many years of service at both the middle and primary school levels. We appreciate you and all you do. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Miss Macklin. That concludes the awards portion of the Section 2.1 board. We do have one more very special opportunity, though, this evening. And I'd like to say that this particular business partner has been really generous and supportive over the years to our school system and our schools and students and staff. It is the Cincinnati, Ohio Police Federal Credit Union. The representative who's here this morning that we'll call forward here in just a moment has also been extremely supportive of our students, our staff, our schools, and we're very grateful for the level of partnership that COPFCU has provided over the years. It would be hard for me to think of a business partner that could possibly be better. So without any further ado, for a special presentation, we'd like to call forward Mr. Ron Gore, Business Development and Community Manager. And while he's coming up, I'll just go ahead and say that Mr. Gore will be presenting a check in a fairly large amount that I will allow him to disclose to the Winton City School District to support student incentives for academic growth, positive attendance, and positive behavior intervention and supports. Mr. Gore, take it away, sir.
Okay. Well, I wasn't prepared to speak, but I guess in my role, you always got to be ready to say something at any given time. I was approached by Mr. Steve Denny some months ago, and we were talking about how I can help incentivize the kids that come to school. What can we do from a monetary perspective to help support this school to do just that? So, although the partnership has been solid over the years, it will continue to be solid. I knew right away that I would write a check. I just didn't know exactly how much. So again, I'm just so happy and proud to be able to present tonight a check in the amount of $10,000 to support whatever you deem necessary, Mr. Denny and your staff, to help support the attendance of the kids coming forward. And we'll continue to partner with you throughout the years. And so without any further ado, could someone mind taking a picture?
Also meant to mention, Mr. Day, thanks for your support in coordinating this and facilitating that as well, so thank you. Board, that concludes the gifts, recognition, honors, and introductions for the evening.
Thank you, Superintendent Denny. And the next item on the agenda is 3.01, public comments. Mr. Seymour, do we have any? Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is 4.01. At this time, we'll take a brief recess, no longer than 5 minutes. With that, thank you. Okay, welcome back. Thank you so much. Welcome back from recess. First on the agenda, or next on the agenda, we've got comments to the board from the associations. Okay, 5.01, Winton Woods Teachers Association. Do we have a representative? Okay, thank you. 5.02, Ohio Association of Public School Employees. Do we have a representative? Seeing none, we'll move on. 6.01, the waiving of the reading of the minutes. Board of motion is in order.
Madam President, I'd like to move that we waive the reading of the minutes for the regular meeting dated October 27th, 2025.
I second that motion.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded. Are there any questions or discussions? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call for the vote?
Ms. Bryant?
Yay.
Ms. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
All right, that has passed unanimously. Next on the agenda is 6.02, the approval of the minutes as presented. Board of motion is in order.
Mrs. President, I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay,
I'll second that.
thank you. It's been motioned and seconded. Are there any questions or discussions?
No, I'm fine.
Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call for the vote?
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
That vote passed unanimously. We'll move on to the next agenda, which is 7.01, the Treasurer's Report 7.01, the financial statements for October 2025. Mr. Seymour, you have the floor.
Yes, Board, before you, you have the financial statements for the month of October of 2025. On the first page is the reconciliation for October. On page 2, you have the year-to-date revenues for the general fund at $25.9 million, with month-to-date revenues of $4.5 million, all of which mostly came from the state, either through the state foundation or homestead and rollback, or as they now refer to as the state share of real estate taxes, for a total of the 3.4 million. And then on the general fund expenditures, you have the expenditures by object and then function for total year-to-date expenditures of 22.2 million. And we are currently running approximately 2% under budget, or approximately 1.3 million. And then on page 5, you have activity for all funds, and the general fund had an unencumbered balance of 14.1 million, and all funds had an unencumbered fund balance of 22.8 million. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Seymour. Let the records show the financial statements be presented and filed for audit. Next on the agenda is the Treasurer's recommendations, 8.01, the investment report for 2025, October. Mr. Seymour, you have the floor.
Yes, our interest for the month of October was $112,800. Of that, the general fund had $98,491, and our building funds still yield interest for the month of $14,368. And obviously, our rate at Star Ohio has gone down because, as you know, the rates have gone down. So we have gone from a high for this year of 4.62 down to 4.3 for the month of October, and we are anticipating another rate adjustment coming up. So that's the Treasurer's recommendation for investments.
Board, a motion is in order.
Madam President, I recommend to approve the investment report as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded. Are there any questions or discussion?
Thank
Right.
you for saying that, Mr. Seymour, about the Star Ohio. I looked at that and went, ooh, I remember when it was up to like, what, 5, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. To see it drop to 4.30 was a little alarming. Ooh.
Yeah, that really hurts our investment portfolio, our interest on investments.
Yeah.
The Fed really isn't talking any more rate decreases this year. They're talking late winter or early winter.
It kind of tends to be roughly 2 to 3 weeks behind the Fed's adjusting the prime rate.
Yes.
And the amount that we have deposited went down significantly. Is that just cash flow from the state and the county?
Uh-huh, yeah. Yeah, our big influx is real estate tax advances, and then we start spending it down.
Yeah. Because it went from like 141 last month to 112 this month, but there's only a 2-week period in there too. Or no, it would be 4 weeks for last month.
Right.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any other questions or discussion? Board?
No.
Okay. Mr. Seymour, will you call for the vote?
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
That vote passes unanimously. Moving on to the next agenda item, which is reports of the superintendent. 9.01, school reports. Mr. Denny, you have the floor.
Thank you, Vice President Knighton. Good evening again, Board. Board, you should have before you 9.01, upcoming school events report. Just to highlight a couple of the salient items we might want to really take a look at. There's so many great things happening, especially as we enter the holiday season. But there is some really fun activities coming up. I will go ahead and jump out and invite anyone and everyone who might be interested this Thursday to the Grandparent Bake Off. I actually went last year. I'm going to try to go this year as well if I can work my schedule, because it was a hoot. It was fun, and some really good food, as you might imagine. So it's put on by our very own Winton Woods PTA. It's this Thursday at South Campus. Same evening as the middle school's band and orchestra concert at the North Campus. Hard to believe it, but a week from today is midterms already. We'll be halfway through second quarter. So obviously students making sure they're on their grades, and making sure they are being successful. But we'll be sending reports out about the midterms next week. Senior credit check is also next week. And then one of the highlights of the entire fall season, the high school's fall play, is coming up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Yes, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The production this year is the Radium Girls. So again, inviting everyone and anyone who might be interested to come check that out. It's always a good show. We have a girls basketball showcase coming up Saturday and Sunday. That's right before the Thanksgiving break, but it's against Warren Western Reserve on Saturday evening, the 22nd, and then, Friday is against Lawrence North, the 21st. And then the basketball showcase against Western Reserve on Saturday. The 23rd, varsity ensemble will be at the Cincinnati Fusion Ensemble concert at the Calvary Episcopal Church in Clifton. That's exciting. Thanksgiving break, the 24th through the 28th. And then we enter concert season, highlighted by one of the best events of the entire year. I just would have to say, the Hallelujah concert coming up in December. That is Thursday, December 4th, 7 p.m. High school choir orchestra Hallelujah concert. And of course, we welcome back alumni for that. It's just a wonderful show. High school band concert coming up the 9th, and then we start in earnest with basketball season. So lots of games to check out. And finally, I wanted to make sure I gave a shout out and drew attention to high school varsity ensemble with the Cincinnati Pops. We'll be performing on Friday the 12th, Saturday the 13th, and Sunday the 14th. So time is to be announced, but that will be at Music Hall, so that's very exciting. That concludes highlights from the school report of upcoming events.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is 9.02, Student Achievement Report. Superintendent Denny, you have the floor.
Thanks again, Ms. Knighton. So again, we're blessed and fortunate to have great partnerships. One of those partnerships is with the Healthcare Connection. And we know that we've been working toward the notion of community learning centers and healthcare facilities to serve not only our students and staff, but the entire community for quite a lot of time, for many, many years. So to see it come to be over the last few years has been really exciting and rewarding and beneficial in so many ways to our kids, our families, and our community. So this evening, Board, you should have before you a presentation, but we have two special guests this evening, Dr. Jolene Joseph, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Healthcare Connection, and she's joined by Ms. Angie Hartman, their Chief Operating Officer, and they're going to present to us this evening an overview of the school-based health center at Winton Woods South Campus. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, and thank you for extending an invitation to Angie and I and allowing us an opportunity to highlight the success of the partnership that we embarked upon several years ago, as Mr. Denny indicated, and we have now been operational for 2 years. So I want to start with just if you have not been in the space, I would strongly encourage you to stop in and take another look. We have really found the space to be incredibly valuable, easy access, and this past summer, as we will discuss later in our review, that we were able to open up to the community during the summer hours, and with that ease of access and no disruption to the school, it allows for a little expansion of care back out into the community. So I, again, would encourage you to stop in, say hello, even if you're taking a tour, but also just to introduce yourselves to our team within the School-Based Health Center. Wanted to start by highlighting, again, one of the reasons why we came together and started the conversation around what a school-based health center would look like and how that would match up to the needs within the district of Winton Woods. And this is really truly about that partnership and that commitment to not only the success and health and well-being of the students, but also achieving that academic success. We recognized in conversations over a couple of years that there were issues that needed to be addressed that were beyond the walls of the school and needed to increase the way of providing access that met other needs that could interfere or could be detrimental to a child's success in the classroom. And so wanted to just bring us back and start with the why, and also recognizing that it would not be doable if we also did not consider the fact that parents are a part of this process, so the health partner, the school district, and then the parents. And with that, we were trying to alleviate or eliminate as many barriers as possible. We recognize that our parents are busy. They have a lot happening in their lives, and sometimes it's very difficult to take off work, to take your child to an appointment. And so if we could make that a little less stressful and that we could make that advantageous for them to be able to sign a consent form that allowed that student to access services while in the school building for the day, it may alleviate some of those stressors. And so that was one of the other reasons that we took a look at eliminating barriers or discussing what those barriers might look like for your parents in the district. It was also about financial barriers. So with the school-based health center, we're able to offer services without limitation. If there is a student or a parent and family that has an inability to pay for services, we work with them on that. No one is ever denied service because of an inability to pay. That is just a predominant factor that drives community health centers because access is incredibly important. So when we first started our conversation with the district, again, several years ago, we looked at the identified need that the district itself had and tried to better understand what services might be probably the best for your students, because we pair up in each of our districts at looking at what your specific needs are and try to analyze how we can fit ourselves into that model and provide the care that is necessary. So one of the things was that limitation to access to care. Transportation and cost barriers were key factors. It was also around health disparities. Sometimes we don't recognize that children who have chronic disease such as asthma may not always get access to readily available medication. And one of the things that we are able to provide in addition to the actual medical services is pharmaceutical services. We are able to write prescriptions and deliver the medication straight to the school, again, preventing the parent from having to pick up a medication or prescription on their way home from work. Maybe it's late, or that they may not have the feasibility of purchasing that medication. And with our school-based health center, as part of the Healthcare Connection, we have a program that is called 340B, and it is basically a program that allows community health centers to access medication at wholesale price and pass that savings on to our parents. So it's significantly discounted for a child, making it affordable for a parent to be able to obtain those necessary medications. We also recognized dental or oral health services were very important. I remember talking to nurses before we even started and said that many times that one of the initial complaints that landed in the nurse's office was dental pain. And so we have been fortunate enough to have 2 dental chairs at the school-based health center, and 2 days a week we have a dentist on site that provides the necessary restorative services and any extractions or any other type of preventative care that would be important for them, including sealants and silver diamond fluoride. And that is something it's a preventative measure that hopefully prevents tooth decay and ongoing issues and problems for those students. And then lastly, we added vision, which again, as we all recognize, if a child has an inability to see in the classroom, learning can be a challenge. And so vision services was added within this school year. So we launched late last year, and so we are full steam ahead for vision services to be provided this year. And one of the things that we are attempting to address collectively is poor health outcomes and making sure that we are able to encourage students and parents to understand long-term health care is important. So we're also teaching and educating what that may look like. So the solution that we all came to the table in discussion was a school-based health center. And it's comprehensive services, medical, dental, behavioral health, and vision services that are all provided on-site in the dedicated space that we appreciate the district allowing us to renovate and provide for services. And this is just the screen, just as a list of many of the services that we provide between medical, well child preventative visits, acute care, so your common cold, flus, strep throat, earache, any of those services a child can, with a consent form signed, is able to pop in and receive those services, or a nurse refer them for care. Flu shots, immunizations, and sports physicals, all of those are provided under the umbrella of medical. Behavioral health is screening, emotional support, working with students a lot of times during test time. Anxiety can be pretty high, so giving them tools in their toolbox that they can learn to use, breathing techniques, what have you, that will allow them to get through those stressors, and lifelong tools that they can take with them. Oral health, as we talked about, vision, a lot of health education around eye health and comprehensive eye exams. And then if they need glasses, we are able to provide those glasses. They're dispensed again on site, and they do not have to leave the facility to receive those services. And then our pharmacy, as I described previously, which is increasing access and affordability for prescription medication.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having us here. I wanted to share a little bit about what we look at on a regular basis. We have an advisory council that meets once a month to make sure that we're looking at performance indicators and really sharing what impact we're having in the school district. So as Jolene mentioned, we've been open since October of 2023. And so these numbers that you see before you on this screen are what we have done since that opening until through the end of October. Just a couple highlights I wanted to share. So total number of unique patients, meaning individuals that have come in for services, we are over 2,200 since the opening. Our total visits, which may be a person coming in more than one time, we're over 3,800 visits in the school-based health center, and that's total visits including all the services that Jolene has just reviewed. You can see the immunizations, well child checks, the number of adult visits we've had may be of interest to you in relationship to the overall number, but we're at about 500, a little under 500 adult visits, and so all the rest of them are student visits. Another thing that I think is important to look at, because this helps us provide access to care based on the number of parental consent forms that we have turned in district-wide. So this is an encouraging number. I believe at the end of last year we were right around 50%. We're now at 67% of the total district is consented to the school-based services. That means with the partnership and the raising the awareness and the communication and the word of mouth that we're doing, we're reaching more families. The word is getting out about the services. A lot of times it's because a child may get sick, and then that's when they realize the convenience that the services provide, and the school-based health center being right on site. And so we're very encouraged by that. Typically, we look to, after we've been open for a while, is to strive for, around 80% consent rate for the district or for the school. And we're really encouraged by the progress that we're making with that. Jolene mentioned that we also were open for the first summer, this past summer. We were not open the first couple summers because it takes us a while to raise awareness and build a patient base in the community. And so we decided through the partnership and the discussions we were having with the advisory council that this was the first summer we wanted to test that. And the beginning of the summer was a little bit slower, but as we made our way through the summer, we progressed and increased in our number of patient visits. So that was really our first test, dipping our toe in the water with the summer months, but we are going to continue with the summer and continue to raise awareness about those services through communication and raising that level of awareness. Let's see. So one of the things I like to mention is, what are some of the practices that we put in place to have a successful partnership? And we really truly believe that we have that here with Winton Woods, and the dedication that everybody on the advisory council and the broader district and our team at the Healthcare Connection has to this partnership that we have together. We put relationship building as a priority. That means it's an active, living, breathing relationship where we're meeting monthly. We're discussing what's working, what isn't working, what barriers are we running into, what are the newer needs of the district, what has been changing, what are we all seeing, and what can we do to continue to meet the needs in the district. We are regularly having those conversations. And we have the team that works on site in the school-based health center, as well as the nurses and other key leaders in the district, a part of those conversations. And that helps us stay on top of the needs of the district. We try to also integrate ourselves fully. It's very intentional about integrating ourselves into the district, making it establishing a welcoming environment. So the earlier pictures that you saw of the space, Healthcare Connection colors are purple and gold, but the space is blue and green. We want to make sure that we look like the rest of the district, and we make deliberate actions to make sure that that's the case. From our colors in the space, the logo that we use, what we name the school-based health center. It's a Winton Woods School-Based Health Center operated by the Healthcare Connection. We want to make sure the students feel like it's just an extension of the district. It's not a separate entity. And then we also operate that way through our everyday interactions with the school nurses, with the front office, with the teachers and the staff and all the other partners in the building, to make sure that everyone's aware of the services that we provide, that there's an open door for collaborating and for making sure that together we're serving the students. And our team is very active. They're at different meetings that we're not a part of. They meet with the mental health partners. They meet with the nurses in the districts. They have regular interactions with staff that maybe have a specific need that they'd like them to meet, whether it's an educational one or partnering on a specific student's health. They are regularly involved. We also are regularly raising the awareness of our services and partnering. If we want to make sure people know about dental services, we're creating infographics and getting that out to parents and making sure that that information is available. I mentioned the school nurses. We really, that is an everyday interaction between our staff and the school-based health center and the school nurses and Tanya's entire team. We are able to interact and make sure that we are all regularly talking and to serve those students. Jolene already mentioned all of our multi-tiered services to meet the needs of the district. We try to keep the pulse of that to make sure that we can be agile and react to the needs of the district. And then also we set ourselves up for sustainability. We enter into this partnership planning to stay. And so we do the work to make sure that we can get there. We have a model that works. We have a staffing model and a fiscal model that works for us. And we know what steps we have to take to make sure that happens so that we can continue to provide access long-term for the students in the community of the district. We also do some operational things that help us be sustainable, like aligning the parental consent forms with enrollment. So at the beginning of the year, when we are asking for parents to sign it, it goes along with all of the other forms that the parents have to sign to enroll their children, and they can, sign up for the school-based health center or not. But as long as we're a part of that same process, we know that every parent is seeing the information and so has a chance to create access for their children. And also, we're a federally qualified health center. Jolene referenced this related to the 340B pricing for pharmacy, but we get an enhanced reimbursement for the work that we do so that we can reinvest that for uninsured patients and for those patients that need different types of services and supports to access care. And we will not turn anyone away based on their inability to pay, and so we make sure that we reinvest that money so that we can care for the students that need us the most. And to wrap this up a little bit, and then we can take any questions you might have, we wanted to share a little video. We are promoting our services quite a bit, whether it's on social media or elsewhere, and we actually did this short video at utilizing the Winton Woods space and the staff that worked there, so we wanted to share that with you today. So we'd like to know if you have any questions we can answer for you today on our presentation or anything that comes to mind. We'd be happy to entertain any.
Go ahead. I always have something to say.
I did, great presentation, first of all. On the drugs, how do if kids pick up a prescription, can you give it to them?
We cannot administer the medication. The nurse can.
Okay.
If that is something that they need here to be at the school,
Okay.
for example, an inhaler, and that needs to be left here, and the nurse is going to supervise that
Okay.
through that process, yes.
So-
But if it's an antibiotic,
Yeah.
for instance, because they have an ear infection, then that has to go home. We cannot administer the medication.
So how, you give it to them in some kind of special package?
No, so most of the ones that happen at Winton Woods from what I've been hearing about and what their practice is we have a free delivery service for our pharmacy, and so we will send that prescription to the child's home so that it can be signed for by an adult.
Either or.
Yeah.
It just seemed like,
It depends on what it is.
like first
Yeah.
graders
Yes.
coming home like,
No.
Usually the ones
That's a
that
good
are
question.
delivered. Yeah. Usually the ones that are delivered to the nurse are like an inhaler or something like that.
perfect sense,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
I knew there was
Yeah.
a reasonable solution.
Nuance, yes.
Thank you
just-
for the question.
Keep walking around with that. I got some Adderall, y'all. I got some Adderall. First of all, thank you guys so much for being in the community. It's a wonderful space, and I personally have been able to take my grandchild there. She
Oh, thank you.
she sees another one of your sites and couldn't get in. And I finally like, well, wait a minute, wow, we've got one in our own backyard. Like, duh. Called, got her in. She loved it. Great care, great provider. So thank you. It's important to have health care when you need it, where you need it in your space. My only question is, when are we opening up the center here?
I'm sorry.
We'll be opening up on
The center here. We've got a space for you.
Oh, with your
Sorry.
hearing
Oh,
center.
yes.
We got-
That's a great question. And our goal is absolutely to open up the space. We are looking at what our options are for funding.
Okay.
So all of our sites, including the one here at Winton Woods, we've been very fortunate to have partnerships in the community that have funded the capital build out of those projects. Interact for Health, we had Deaconess Foundation has stepped up numerous times. We've had Delta Dental Foundation that has assisted in allowing us to build out these spaces. So right now, that is at the top of our list, that we are seeking out capital dollars. We're also looking at alternatives to, if foundational dollars are not available, what other means might we be able to tap into for financing? As a community health center, as a federally qualified health center, we also have opportunity to look at different types of loans through the federal government. And that may be an alternative to waiting on that right funder, that right entity that's going to come forward. This may launch a little faster than that.
Well, let me give you guys a little shout out. You do already have a center in Forest Park, correct? A healthcare connection?
We do. It is a pediatric only site, Head Start co-location.
Correct.
So we have been there for a number of years. Our goal would be to move them into this space if we're able to conduct that renovation. That we would not be located there. It's just down the road, so it's not going to challenge any access to care. So we would eliminate that site and make this that primary site in Forest Park.
And the kids, this is open to adults as well. So
That is correct.
Yes.
I was very happy to know that you were open in the summer. That had been one of my first questions. So, and that you saw over 200 people, I think, in the summer, which that's 200 families that wouldn't have had care if you weren't open. So that's pretty significant, especially in these
Absolutely.
challenging times with coverage and healthcare and jobs. So we thank you for being here and doing the work and
Thank you.
serving the community. Exciting.
Just a couple shout outs. One, to both of you. Thank you for the ongoing partnership, your dedication, your commitment to care and access and equity. And it's just been a privilege and a joy to work with you and your team. Shout out to Daniel.
Yeah.
He does a great job. And I want to make sure I mention Miss Bray and all she does to help things run smoothly and make those connections and working with the school nursing staff. And I just wanted to make a quick comment on slide 6. It says expected outcomes equals health and educational equity. And I think that's the tie to our core business. I mean, we have to add a lot back than just academics, because we definitely want to pay attention to the whole child and the family. But increased improvement, academic achievement, better school performance, grade promotion, that's our core business. And you all do so much to help support that, and so we appreciate it.
Thank you.
We feel the same about you all, so thank you for the partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Next on the agenda is 9.03, Student Wellness and Success Report. Mr. Denny.
Thanks again, Ms. Knighton. Board 9.03, Student Wellness and Success Report. You should have before you a PDF titled Student Wellness and Success for FY26. And this report will be presented by Mr. Doug Sanker, Supervisor of State and Federal Programs and Testing. And while he's coming up, these are earmarked state-provided general fund dollars. So that's what this report will center around. Thanks, Mr. Sanker.
All right. Thank you so much, Superintendent Denny. I would like to talk to you about the Student Wellness and Success Funds. As Mr. Denny was indicating, these are state foundation funds. So this is not extra money. This is just a part of the money that the state grants to school districts. It is earmarked, though, for funds that support wraparound services for students. And you'll see during this presentation that we spend this money on social emotional learning initiatives, as well as health supports for our students. By law, you have to spend 50% of the funds on physical or mental health services. All of our funds, 100% of our funds, are dedicated to these two categories. We have two community health partners, the Hamilton County Educational Service Center and Mercy Health. And then also a part of the law is an annual report that is developed and submitted to the state that Mr. Seymour and the Treasurer's Department and I work on in the spring. In terms of our use of funds, roughly $432,000 goes to our social emotional teachers and our transition coordinator. Our social emotional teachers are at the South Campus, and our transition coordinator, he works out of the high school. Their job is to work on social emotional competencies with our students, support these practices for academic development and overall improvement of our school climate. Roughly $326,000 is for the use of nursing personnel. This is 4 people dedicated to our campuses. The students, 3 of our people are from Hamilton County. They are LPNs that work on in our South Campus, and 1 FTE is associated with our school nurse. Their job is essentially, or the goal is to increase attendance. I'm realizing now that I sent Mr. Day a bad copy of this presentation. I apologize. Probably what you're looking at is slightly different, and I apologize. I'm sorry. In fact, this is not correct at all. Pardon me.
Might be last year's, maybe.
It looks like it. Well, I apologize. So the numbers are relatively close. $376,000 for 3 FTEs for SEL teachers and 1 FTE for our transition coordinator. And then we have 4 nurses paid out of these funds for roughly $428,000 of the total $801,000 that we have from the state. In terms of our absenteeism rate, here's a look at 3 years worth of chronic absenteeism. You probably know that chronic absenteeism is a special category designated by the state. Our chronic absenteeism has inched up slightly between 23 and 24, and 24 and 25 to 37.2%. In terms of discipline occurrences, they have inched down a little bit from last year, 4,489 to 4,354. So some progress in areas of discipline, some more work to do on areas of attendance. So that is the long and short of the presentation, our Student Wellness and Success Funds. I would open it up to questions at this time.
I do have a question, and Mr. Denny, you probably know what my question is. Looking at slide, I think, is it 3? About the nursing salaries. I know that we contract with Hamilton County, and thank you for that. Is there any opportunity for us to hire more of our own, like full-time FTE nurses versus the contract with the county, just for continuity and I know we've got some great nurses at the county, so I'm not insinuating that, but we do know that outcomes are a little bit different when the person is tied to the school and that's their employer in terms of continuity of care. Okay, come on up. Ms. Bray looks at you like, oh, can you take that one?
Mrs. Bray may want to chime in as well. So this summer, we actually had the opportunity to replace a long-term nurse, Lisa Lip, who retired. And the goal at that time was to find an RN that could perform some of the duties that, encompass everything from administering medicine to creating health plans for students. So we have been looking for RNs, and we would love to do that. Now, the caveat is that when we hire them through the county, we're not responsible for their healthcare costs. So it's a savings to the district to outsource them, but we're not opposed. Would you agree, Ms. Bray? If the right person comes along with the right credentials, you know, we have had many conversations about that.
All right,
So-
so I hope people are listening for that. Thank you, Ms. Wilson.
Yes. Thank you.
Ms. Different, thank you. That's my only question. Thank you, Mr. Sanger.
Any other
Thank you.
questions, board? No? Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Doug, I
Sanger.
have one question.
Yes, sir.
This 801,000, is it extra dollars the state gives us to invest in this way?
No, this is not extra money. It is just foundation money we would already receive earmarked for these purposes.
Just
So,
wanted to ask that question for the benefit of the public.
yes,
Yeah.
this is true. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanker, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Sanker. Next on the agenda is 9.04, enrollment update. Superintendent Denny, you have the floor again.
Thank you, Ms. Knighton. Board, you should have before you an enrollment report. We try to provide an update like this each year, just so the board has a sense of the number of students attending our schools. So this report will be brought to us and presented by Ms. Rhonda Hobbs, our Director of Technology.
Good evening, Board. So 4269, that's the number of students that we have as a certain date when I put the report together. That encompasses all students on our campuses, plus the 157 students that are at the Great Oaks campuses. So number of kids that are at our Central Campus, our South Campus, and our North Campus be 4112. 4112 is plus 107 students from last year, by the way. Again, if you look at the breakdown of North Campus is 1905. It would be up to 2062 with the JVS class, 1783 at South Campus, and 424 at our Central Campus. You can kind of see the breakdown of the buildings as well. Our two-year enrollment trends. So you can see that we're up in almost every building. Actually, we are. This is a good thing for Winton Woods, but it's also a sad thing when we have families who want to still come here, but there isn't room at grade levels because we are past full capacity in many areas across the district. Here's a grade level enrollment breakdown, so you can see how many students are at each grade level. At our preschool, 119 students, kindergarten, 305, grade 1, 297, grade 2, 282, grade 3, 281, grade 4, 307, grade 5, 294, grade 6, 322, grade 7, 331, grade 8, 313, grade 9, 355, grade 10, 370, grade 11, 382, grade 12, 308, and then we have 3 students who are grade 23. Our demographic breakdown, the first chart, I believe your slide has all 4 of them, but I wanted to make it a little bit bigger for everybody, so it's the same data, it's just split into 2 different slides. Our EL breakdown, the number of students that we have, or the percentage, I should say, is 22.4% is our EL population. That does include our monitored students who have exited the program, but we still monitor them for 4 years, as well as the current EL students. You can see those are the 2 numbers breakdown. The monitored is 5.2%, and then the current EL students are 17.2%. Next to that, in chart number 2, would be our gifted population. Our current gifted population is 4%. This month is our grade 5 screening for gifted, so we will find out if there's more students identified. And then in the spring, we screen our second graders, and we look at that as well. Chart number 3 is the number of IEP students, or the percentage of IEP students. As of this date, it was 14.7% were IEP students, And in the last chart there, our 504 students was 2.5% of our population. Our demographic data by race and ethnicity, we have 2,259 black students, 1,243 Hispanic students, 341 multiracial students, 275 white students, 128 Asian students, 15 Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander students, and 8 American Indian students. Our newly enrolled students this year so far for, that should say 25, 26, is 756. So I just wanted to say kudos to the enrollment team. It's been a very busy summer getting all these families enrolled and all the necessary documents. Open enrollment students, students that are Winton Woods students that live here in our district boundaries, but are going to other districts are 154. And then our incoming open enrollment students who are attending our schools but actually live outside of our borders are 307 students. And then a friendly reminder for the families who haven't completed that annual verification that our final forms, this is a message that we need to speak all the time. As they were giving you the health care updates where they said they consented in, our families consent through final forms as well. So that's an area that they can consent for health care services if they just complete those annual verifications. So do you have any questions?
What is a monitored EL student?
So they
You
have.
said about 4 years after.
Yep.
So I didn't
They
know-
actually exit the EL program, so they meet the qualifying scores on their OELPA tests, but they are still looked after by our teachers, our EL specialists, just to make sure that they're still on track and that everything is going good. And they actually do that for 4 years.
So is this beyond graduation?
No, it would be up through grade 12.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but they could exit out at any grade level. They don't have to exit out at grade 12.
Understood.
Once they meet the qualifying test scores, they exit out of the EL program.
Okay,
But they're still under our umbrella just for 4 years.
okay. And then the gifted percentage,
Mm-hmm.
is that a good range? For districts of our size, is 4% in most districts for a gifted number? Do we know, is that high or low, or?
I
about
wish I
average?
knew the answer to that. I'd have to do
Okay.
some research for you.
Have to get back to you.
Okay, that's fine.
Other questions, board? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ms. Hobbs, appreciate it.
Thank you.
9.05.
Can I
Oh, yeah.
ask you a question? I left the screen up. When we say students placed out, is that in any school, or is that just public schools?
It would be any public school and an open enrollment capacity.
Okay, that's what I thought it was, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Yeah, one of the main purposes of that slide is to show the positive net
Yeah.
gain or loss,
Right.
depending on,
I just wanted to
The
make sure
numbers.
there weren't, like, private schools also included in there.
if we didn't have open enrollment, we would lose 307 students this year, and we
Right.
would have lost 154 out. So that would decrease our enrollment by quite a bit.
So
Thank you.
eventually, as the community around us redevelops and new housing comes, there's an opportunity for us to get more students new to the district. So then that number will change a little bit, I get, okay.
Yeah, could very well, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 9.05, first read, replacement, rescind, revised, and technical correction board policies. Superintendent Denny?
Thank you. Thank you again, Ms. Knighton. So 9.05 board, this is the second half of the winter update. I believe it's 22 guidelines or policies, or it could also be a policy rescission, where that policy is being rescinded. So those are a little easier to read, obviously, if that policy is simply being retracted or pulled from usage. But board, this would be the second half. So the first read of the first half was last month. This is the first read of the second half. Next month in December, we'll ask the board to favorably consider approving these after the second read. So hopefully by December, we will have approved the entire fall update package from Neola. So Board, you simply, at this point, it's just a report. These are the first read items. I'm not sure if you have any questions. Okay. All right. Thank you.
9.06, facilities update. Superintendent Denny, you have the floor.
Thank you, Vice President Knighton. So 9.06, facilities update. This report will be presented by Mr. Jeremy Day, Executive Director of Business Affairs.
Good evening, Board. Hope everybody's doing well. A couple items here for you today. The baseball field is progressing. You'll notice some backstop poles being installed right now, dugout poles being installed right now. So they're on their way. The scoreboard, the scoreboard's installed, but they're doing the electrical connection starting at the end of this week. So that's progressing as well. So as soon as we get an update on that, I'll let you know. All the permitting came through, and it should be starting in the end of this week. Next item is we did go to bid on the central office renovation. It did go in the paper today. I wanted you guys to be aware of that. Mr. Denny will be giving you kind of update, more detailed information on that at your next board session. Typically, that would have been tonight, except for the conference next week. So that would be coming up in December for your work session. So other than that, that's all I have for tonight for facilities, unless there's any other questions.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Day.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Mr.
it.
Day.
Thank you.
10.01, personnel schedules. Mr. Denny.
Thank you, Ms. Knighton. 10.01 Board, you should have before you schedules A, B, C, D, and E. And the recommended action would be to approve the personnel schedules as presented. And Ms. Wilson and I are standing by should you have any questions or observations.
Madam President, I'd like to move that we approve the personnel schedules A through E as presented.
I second.
Thank you, Board. Questions or discussions?
I'm good. I'm okay.
I'm listening.
Boring is okay.
Well,
Thank
all
you.
right, then.
I
It's
know,
been
right?
motioned.
She's like, hey, there's
It's been motioned and seconded.
The notation on the revision was very helpful.
Oh, good.
Yes,
So that's the
yes.
first time
4
I think
pages.
we've tried it. Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Mr.
Yes, thank you.
Seymour, can you
It
call
worked.
for the vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Great, that vote passes unanimously. Next on the agenda, 10.02, second read, new and revised board policies. Superintendent Denny, you have the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Knighton, and Board, thank you for 10.01. Ms. Wilson, thank you as well for 10.01, being on standby. 10.02, Board, you should have before you 17 policies. Again, as we referenced earlier, this is the first half of the fall policy update. At this point, Board, the recommended action would be to approve the second read, new and revised board policies as presented.
So Board, a motion is in order.
Vice President Knighton, I recommend to approve the second read, new and revised policies as presented.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Are there any questions or discussions? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call for the vote?
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Okay, that vote passed unanimously. Next on the agenda is Board of Education reports. 11.01, the legislative report. And Mr. Spielman, you have the floor.
Since we have so much time tonight,
Yeah. you
No.
got
We had a
five-
good run.
You got 5 minutes.
I got 5, oh, I'm not going to take that one.
I know.
So,
So much going on.
everything in the legislative report, most of it deals with the property tax issues. Over the past weeks, the Senate Local Government Committee continued its work on the package of property tax reform bills the House has previously approved. That's House Bill 186 and House Bill 335. They had second hearings in House Bill 129 and 309. Each had their third committee meeting. The committees met on both Tuesday and Wednesday, an indicator that they will soon take action soon to affect the current year's tax bills. BASA, OA, SBO, and OSBA testified on House Bill 129 and House Bill 309 last week. That was on Tuesday. On Wednesday were proponents of those bills, and witnesses urged the Senate to move quickly. So there's a lot of discussion about property tax reform. But then on Tuesday last week, we had elections. And the conundrum to that is 60% of the school levies passed in the state of Ohio on election day. It was a 15-point increase from this year versus last year. And of those, 92% of the renewals passed and 1/3 of the new funding passed. So on one side, you hear property tax reform, but then when people are actually brought up about their students, a majority of them passed, which I found that interesting, especially by a 15-point increase over just 1 year. I think the property tax reform there's a lot going on about it, and everything you read in the 28-page report says they're working on it. And, they want to bring it to a conclusion because the tax year is starting in January, so we'll have to see what they do. And that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Spiller. Thanks so much. All right, next on the agenda is 11.02. I saw some notes in there. I will say, as always, we definitely want to thank our representative and former board member, Jeff Birdie, as he serves in his final term on the Great Oaks Board. Due to the change in our November meeting, the Great Oaks meeting has not taken place yet, so we don't have any report from that meeting, but Mr. Birdie will forward that on once they have their November session. But as always, and again, thank you, Mr. Birdie, for your continued partnership and commitment to Winton Woods City Schools. We appreciate that.
See, Bill, that's why I said you had 5 minutes. You still had time.
Next on the agenda is 12.01, board motions and recommendations. I didn't see that we had any, so we'll move on to 13.01, comments from the board. And we will start with Mr. Seymour.
No, I don't have anything.
And Ms. Bryant.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for all of you all who came out to vote, and give me another 4 years on the board. It is my pleasure and honor to serve the community in which I work, live, and play. I'm looking forward to doing this work and getting through the next 4 years with all the changes that are coming down the pike from the federal and local levels. I also wanted to say, please come to the board meetings. It's always nice when we come in and see all the families and then they leave. So please stay, please be involved. We're here for you. We want to hear from you. And we love that you come out and celebrate in all the sporting events and arts. But please come to the board meetings as well. We're here for you. This is a meeting amongst us for you all to learn about school district and what's happening. Other than that, I want to say happy early Veterans Day for all of the men and women who have served our country, my father included. Thank you for all that you do to keep us safe, and I hope you guys have a great day. That's it. And stay warm. It's cold out there.
Thank you. Mr. Spillman.
Well, thank you. I'd also like to thank all of our veterans for what they've done for our country. And I'd also like to thank COPFCU for their donation tonight. We just appreciate that, not just the money, but community involvement from them. I'd like to congratulate Coach Murphy and the coaches and all the players on the football team.
Yeah.
It didn't end the way you wanted. It never, but just to see them gathering at the end of the game as a team, it's like it's hard, but the experience, they'll remember that for the rest of their lives. And also, I'd like to extend my prayers for a happy Thanksgiving to all of our staff, families, and students. Enjoy the vacation off and read a book while you're off. You get a week off, read a good book. Moms, dads, and students, not just students.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Denny.
Thanks, Ms. Knighton. I have to echo what Mr. Spielman shared. I was going to bring that up too. Just the three of us happened to be at the game Friday night, and it was hard fought. Like, I was so proud of the young men, of the young ladies too that were there to support the team, the band. I thought we gave them all they could handle. For just came up a little short, and any other given Friday night it turned out different, but that wasn't our night. But super proud of the team, and they always represent us in the highest of fashions, and thought they did so that night too, and just really proud. So I also, one other item I wanted to touch on, and you also mentioned COPFCU, very, very grateful to them for their level of partnership, but also Healthcare Connection. And we truly are fortunate and blessed to have so many business partners that have stepped up and have really been there for our students, our staff, our families. The last item I wanted to touch base about, Board, if I could, is just, and I think I gave you a copy of this last meeting, the joint letter from all of the various school districts in Hamilton County. And just the concerns about property taxes. Yes, writ large, we all agree something needs to be done about it. But should it be done off the backs of schools and municipalities and all the services that we depend on? And just one big takeaway, and I'll just leave you with this if I could. It says Ohio's state share of K-12 education funding in 2002 was 45% from the state and 55% local. Fast forward 23 years later to 2025, and now it's 33% from the state and 67% from the local populace, the local taxpayers. During that time period, Ohio dropped from 45th or 35th in school funding in the country out of 50 states to 45th, so we're in the bottom 5. So that's structurally some changes that have introduced a bigger burden to the local taxpayer, and so the schools, unfortunately, are part of that conversation. So that letter should be coming out this week, and we'll be sending that out. So just wanted to again shine a light on that. It's something we're certainly concerned about. But that concludes my comments.
I have one more.
Okay, back to Mr. Spielman.
Thank you. I watched the football game on TV because we had a family reunion at our home. And I've never heard a player of the game. They always give a player of the game. But in that game, they gave the player of the game to the 4 defensive linemen. They said those 4 have played phenomenally well. And I don't know if, of the 2 announcers, that's who they thought the player of the game was. So congratulations to those 4 guys.
Interesting.
I had it written down. I forgot that one.
Love that.
That was a cool night.
Love that. And I'll just echo just what my colleagues have said. We definitely want to thank a lot of our partners, the Credit Union, Healthcare Connection, just our ongoing partners that we have in Kiwanis and Skyline. It's such a refreshing thing to know that we can celebrate kids and the things that they're doing every day because of great partners like that. So just in our, PBIS incentives, but also in just our monthly incentives and the awards that we're able to do ongoing is just amazing. And I think just overall, as we enter into just a season of gratitude and reflection, to me, it's just the little things, right? So it doesn't have to be a $10,000 check, but that person that holds the door in front of you, just showing gratitude for that, or that student that helps you with your homework, or that teacher that gives you an extra smile that morning, noticing those things and recognizing those things. And I know at Convocation, we talked about showing people and giving people their flowers, and I just want to remind people to continue to do that, right? We're into the semester, hot and heavy into the semester, and just remind people to kind of bring that back up, and let's not forget to do that as we're moving through. But next on the agenda, 1401, we didn't have a reason for executive session to my knowledge, so we'll move on to 1501. And I will now call this meeting of the Winton Woods City Schools Board of Education adjourned. Thank you to all in attendance, and thank you to Waycross Community Media for broadcasting the meeting. Tony and your crew, as always, we appreciate you.